Hello again everybody and welcome. I'm Jamaican Youth, and in this video I'll be talking about the Reggae Girls upsetting France with a 0-0 draw in their World Cup opening match. How can I not talk about it with this historic win? The first point the Reggae Girls have gotten in World Cup play, and it's a massive point. Jamaica drawing 0-0 with world number 5 ranked France. It was very good. It was awesome to see the Reggae Girls play the way that they play, with the tenacity and the fight and the spirit, the fearlessness that they fought with. We're definitely going to get into that. I'm kind of going to break down how I saw the game and some of the observations I made in this game, because, you know, it was really good to see the way they played. You know, it made me getting up early this morning. I watched it 6 o'clock because of where I am, but it really made it worthwhile to get up at the time I did to watch the game. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and kudos to the Reggae Girls, man. Go Reggae Girls. Definitely we'll be continuing to see what happens. Anyway, before we get into it, like to ask you to hit the like button, as it helps to send the video out to more eyes. And if you haven't done so as yet, please hit the subscribe button, as it helps the channel to grow, and we're definitely trying to grow the channel. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So as I said, Reggae Girls not defeating but drawing 0-0 with France this morning, at least this morning my time, and it was really good to see the way they played. And we're just going to get into some of the nitty-gritty. Now, even though we walked away with a 0-0 draw, the stats doesn't necessarily always play out, you know, how it looked. You know, because when I looked at the stats, I was like, wow, the stats don't look as good as what you saw, the eye test, so to speak. So let's talk about the stats. So France had 14 shots. And 14 shots, Jamaica had 6. France had 5 shots on target, Jamaica had 2. France had 73% possession, Jamaica only had 27%. France made 472 passes, Jamaica made 193. Passing accuracy, France 79%, Jamaica 51%. Fouls, France 15 fouls, Jamaica committed 10. Yellow cards, France had 1 yellow card, Jamaica had 1 yellow card. Really 2 yellow cards that led to a red card. And then of course Jamaica had the red card, controversial red card. We're gonna get to that. And then offsides, France was offside 4 times, Jamaica no offsides. And then corners, France had 12 corners and Jamaica had 2. Now, if you look at those stats, you know, it pretty much seemed like France really dominated. And, you know, if you watch the game, you'd have to admit that France was the stronger team of the two. But here's a case where the ball is rolling and anything can happen on the day. Jamaica played with a lot of fight, and they weren't outclassed. And, you know, they really took the fight to France, and they never allowed France to settle on the ball, you know, and that is what I really liked. And I'm going to make some comparisons there. So I'm going to talk about 5 observations that I made during the game. Some of them not necessarily in the game, but it's like as a result of what I saw in the game. These are some observations that I made in watching the game this morning. So number 1 is, I have to say kudos to the Reggae Girls for putting the off-field issues that they have had with the JFF behind and focusing on the game at hand. That's not easy. I mean, everybody who has been following the Reggae Girls and you're a major fan of Jamaica's football, you know that the JFF, the girls had some issues with the JFF. And I don't want to really spend too much time talking about it because I want to focus on the positives. But to be honest with you, I just have to call it like I see it. Like when I was watching the game, the commentators were talking about it. You know, before the game started, during the game started, after the game, they were all talking about, These girls have had issues with their federation, and they're still able to pull it together. I'm tired of hearing it, JFF. So, please do something about that so that we don't have to hear that type of thing in the international media. But for them, the Reggae Girls, to put their off the field issues behind them and to play the type of game that they played today, I really have to tip my hat off to them. But the thing is, they played with a lot of tenacity, a lot of fearlessness, and they came with the mindset that we're going to get a result today. Come hell or high water, we're going to get a result, and they got what they wanted. I think they really were. They showed their close knitness. They showed their togetherness, and they really put a good effort, a good foot forward, and got a result against France. So kudos to the Reggae Girls. First of all, I want to congratulate the team for pulling off such an amazing result. Congratulate Coach Donaldson. Congratulate all the members of the team. Congratulate Sidella Marley and everybody who had something to do with the success of the team today. Congratulations. Number 2, Rebecca Spencer and Denisha Blackwood. Wow. Just a breath of fresh air to watch them play. Denisha Blackwood, of course, walked away with the Woman of the Match award. Some people, they would say Rebecca Spencer was the Woman of the Match. But, for me, I'm happy whosoever it is. I'm more happy with the result. But Denisha Blackwood, she looked very lively on the field today. She looked really lively. And the truth be told, a lot of the attacks that France were making came down the right, Jamaica's left-hand side, their right-hand side, but Jamaica's left. And that's the side Blackwood was on. So she had a lot of work to do. She had a lot of work to do. I know that the coaching staff probably would have studied how France attacks and probably, planned how to, stymie their attacks. But, very good, overall game by Denisha Blackwood. She seemed to be all over the field. She was very lively, didn't seem to run out of breath, was always running, very composed on the ball. She had to take all the throws over on the left-hand side, did a really good job of it. And it was nice to see. It was really nice to see the way she was playing. And then obviously Rebecca Spencer, she was so solid in goal. Rebecca Spencer in general, over the time I've been seeing her play for Jamaica, I really like her attitude to the game. Very, bright and astute, attitude, give off this very, leadership, mature leadership, captaincy type vibe. The way she plays, very safe in goal. And Jamaica, we're really lucky to have her because she really did a good job in goal today. She took care of all the shots that came her way, all of them. She walked away with a clean sheet against France. That's outstanding. You know what I mean? The number 5 ranked team in the world. Outstanding. So, kudos to Denisha Blackwood and Rebecca Spencer. I know, there were a lot of other good players, on the field today, but for me, those two were the two outstanding players on the field. Jodie Brown did good in defense. Bunny Shaw, when she was on the ball, she looked very dangerous in attack. And sometimes the France, they double teamed Bunny Shaw or triple teamed her because they know the type of threat that she can be. So, kudos to all the girls. Number 3, my third observation is Coach Donaldson clearly had a plan for this game. And he said it. His plan was that he wanted to get a result in this game. And obviously a result is either going to be a draw, which would give you 1 point, or a win, which would give you 3 points. I don't think many people were expecting France to lose this game, to Jamaica. But I don't think a lot of people expected Jamaica to draw this game with France either. You know, people thought that France was going to, win all three of their games, or at least beat Jamaica and Panama, and then maybe, if they can't get past Brazil, then so be it. But nope, that's not what happened. And Coach Donaldson, I think his plan for this group is probably to get a result against France, which he has done. He can tick that box. Beat Panama, because we have beaten Panama in the past. I think we have a good record against Panama, and we're the better team, really. And then also get a result against Brazil, which would give us 5 points, in the group. And I think 5 points should be enough to carry us through, because it would pretty much mean that another team would have to, two teams would have to get 2 wins in the group for them to get more than 5 points. And I don't necessarily see that happening. I think Jamaica can be really good against Brazil as well, but I don't think it's going to be, an easy game for them. But definitely, I think we should be able to beat Panama and hopefully get a point against Brazil. And I think that is probably what Coach Donaldson is thinking. But, he came up with a plan, and, the plan was executed. Regardless of what the stats say, the plan was executed. They got a point, and really, again, congratulations to Coach Donaldson and his team. I think hopefully they will move on here from strength to strength. Then my fourth point, the Reggae Girls actually pressed France. And, this was a major observation that I made. And this is, I guess I'm going to kind of deviate from talking about the Reggae Girls on this point, but I'm going to come back to it only because, I want to talk about the Reggae Boys briefly and talk about in few videos that I've said, I've always said that the Reggae Boys need to start pressing teams. If you look in CONCACAF, the teams that do well, the USAs, the Mexicos, the Panamas, and the Canadas, one of the things that those teams do well is they know how to press teams. They press them and don't allow them to settle on the ball, right? And that's one of the things, just to go back to the CONCACAF Gold Cup with Jamaica versus Mexico, we never pressed them. And, I know a lot of fans, or some fans, believe that, we can't, if you don't have the players to play a pressing game, then you shouldn't do it because you don't want to press them and then you're out of breath and blah, 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 and all of that, right? But yet, the Reggae Girls were able to press France and get them off their game. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can go back and listen and watch the game and listen to the commentators speaking. Even the commentators were saying Jamaica has not allowed France to settle into the rhythm of the game that they normally play because we keep pressing them. We're up in their faces all the time. And we were able to press them and get them off their game. And, I think that definitely was a strategy by Coach Donaldson. We're still playing 4-4-2. But in this case, it works for them. I don't have a problem with the way their formation, but it's just the fact that they were able to press France, get them off their game, not allow them to just get into to their rhythm of how they normally dominate quote unquote weaker teams, and then just roll over and lose to France. They pressed them, got them off their game, made it not easy for them. And then you saw the result. And this was very, satisfying to see. Because that's what I've always been saying. Like, the stronger teams, you can press them and get them off their game. I think a lot of the times when Jamaica play against stronger opponents, we kind of stay back a little bit, allow them to come at us, and they will try and counterattack them. That's the type of approach that we take. And you can see in this Jamaica-France game, Reggae Girls game, they pressed France and it threw them off. So kudos to the girls for that. And then my final point is Khadijah Bunny Shaw. And I have 3 things to say about Khadijah Shaw. The first thing is, I think it was a poor decision by the referee on that second yellow card. Even the first yellow card was, kind of questionable too, but okay, first yellow card, I can see, how she might have gotten that. But the second yellow card, she didn't. Her follow through, is what I guess touched her, but the initial challenge wasn't there. She didn't touch her. And, it's a poor decision by the referee. Especially in the dying moments of the game, a hard-fought game, sometimes discretion can come into play and you can make a decision based on your discretion. That was not necessary. That second yellow was totally unnecessary. Shouldn't have resulted in a red card. Poor decision by the referee, at least from my standpoint. However, which is my second point against Khadijah, about Khadijah Shaw, is that I don't think she had to make that challenge there, because the challenge was made deep in the French half. Renard was on the ball. She was trying to get the ball away from their goal area. So we weren't really under much threat. So the aggressiveness of the challenge wasn't really necessary. And, obviously for me, it's very difficult for me to criticize Bunny Shaw because she's, such an important player for us. Arguably the best player in CONCACAF, the best goal scorer Jamaica has ever had, and just doing this country really proud, playing there in Man City and all over the world where she has played. Bunny Shaw is like a national treasure. So it's really difficult to criticize, but I think there is, in this case, I don't think she had to make that challenge, but in the same breath, it was a poor decision by the referee. So we're going to miss Bunny Shaw for Panama, but which leads me to my third point about Bunny Shaw is that I think overall the team, we rely on Bunny Shaw a little bit too much, and I think her missing the Panama game might actually benefit us in some ways. Obviously, we would have been better off having her. I want to make that clear. We would, there's by any metric, any standard, we would have been significantly better off having Bunny Shaw in the Panama game. However, and I've listened to some fans reasoning this point, and I tend to agree with the point that I think we rely on Bunny Shaw a little bit too much. I remember in this game, there was a time where Jody Brown got the ball on the left-hand side, and she, a defender was on her, but she had the opportunity to kick, kick to goal, and she instead opted to try and pass the ball to Bunny Shaw, and the ball didn't even get to Bunny. Because it got broken up and it ended up turning into a turnover to France. Because every time we get in the final third of the French half, it seems like everybody who has the ball, who is not Bunny Shaw, is trying to pass the ball to Bunny Shaw, which I understand. I understand it. She's our best striker. She's a prolific goal scorer, has scored a lot of goals for Jamaica. But, if you're in a better position to shoot, you can shoot. And so, I think maybe in the Panama game, not having Bunny Shaw there will force us to take more shots. So, Shayna Matthews and, Jody Brown, maybe they'll have to bring in another strike. Well, they'll definitely have to bring in another striker if they're going to play the same, formation, the Kiki Van Zantens or even, maybe even bringing in Trudy Carter to, be a playmaker in the midfield and putting Jody Brown up front to be a strike partner with Shayna Matthews. Who knows what they're going to do? I'm not too, sure what the coach will do in that situation. However, we will not have Bunny Shaw, and it will mean that we have to find goals elsewhere. And I'm pretty sure this coach has that figured out, or will have it figured out for the Panama game. So I think in some ways it may benefit us to not have, Khadijah Shaw. Again, if she was available, obviously she would be the first person that I would put on the starting list. But there can be a benefit to it. So hopefully, Jamaica will go out there and play and continue doing this country proud. The Reggae Girls, man, wow. I have to really say congratulations again. You have really kept the Jamaican flag flowing high, and you have kept us as fans really satisfied and happy over the years that you have been playing and representing Jamaica. And yeah, I'm so happy, I'm so proud, so good to be able to see we have our team in the World Cup. It gives us added interest. And in general, the women's game is growing. It's I remember a time where I couldn't even bother watch a female soccer game because it just wasn't appealing or attractive. But in this World Cup, you can see the evidence of the growth of women's football. It's attractive to watch now. It's actually something you can get excited about. And I say it like that because before, I personally couldn't get excited about watching it. But today, it's a totally different game. I still, I make sure I watch the highlights for Denisha every game she plays, especially when she scores, I'm being honest. But I watch all her highlights for Man City. And, I really like seeing when the players move on to the big teams and they play. The game is growing for the women. And, I hope that everything, they will move on from strength to strength. On to the next one, girls. And, I'm looking forward to watching you on Saturday, the 29th, against Panama, team that we have beaten already. It's not going to be easy, but we are the better team. So I'm expecting Jamaica to win. We can't take it lightly. I think we have to prepare because Panama is always a tough team, even on the men's side. So it's not going to be easy. But, I'm just going to end it there by saying kudos again to the Reggae Girls. Outstanding display this morning. And, hopefully you can move on to the next round. You can get out of the zone and move on to the next round and play in the second round of the World Cup. That would be awesome. Awesome. All right, everyone. So I'm going to leave it there. And on your way out, please, again, smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. And until next time, take care of yourself. I'm out.